2 мая. Охуеть доброе утро в Каче.
Russian air defenses allegedly intercepted 89 Ukrainian drones over occupied Crimea and another 23 over the waters of the Black Sea, the Russian Defense Ministry claimed. The pro-Ukrainian Crimean Wind Telegram channel reported explosions in several key locations across the peninsula, including Sevastopol, Jankoy, Saki, Novofedorivka, and Kacha, sites that host Russian military airfields. The Saki and Kacha airfields are used by Russia to control airspace over the Black Sea and to launch strikes on Ukrainian territory. Videos published by Crimean Wind showed multiple explosions and a fire near the village of Ulov, close to the Kacha airfield. Ulov is located about 1 kilometer, 0.6 miles, from the coast of Calumet Bay and roughly 25 kilometers, 15 miles southwest of Simferopol. Mikhail Razvozhayev, the Russian-installed leader in Sevastopol, confirmed on Telegram that loud sounds were caused by Russian forces repelling an attempted drone attack. He claimed 7 drones had been destroyed over the sea at a significant distance from shore. The fleet, in cooperation with air defense forces, is reflecting a massive combined attack, he wrote, claiming no damage to infrastructure in Sevastopol or its waters. Ukraine has not officially commented on the reported strikes, and the Kyiv Independent could not independently verify the claims. Ukraine has carried out several successful attacks against Russian targets in occupied Crimea and its vicinity, heavily degrading the Russian Black Sea Fleet. The massive drone attack on Crimea is a kind of prelude to the May 9th parade on Red Square in Moscow, says Serhiy Zgurets, Ukrainian journalist. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, said on Saturday that nobody could guarantee that the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv would survive to see May 10th if Ukraine attacked Moscow during World War II victory celebrations on May 9th. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday declared a 3-day ceasefire in May in the war with Ukraine to mark the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Soviet Union and its allies in World War II. The Kremlin said the 72-hour ceasefire would run on May 8th, May 9th, when Putin will host international leaders, including Chinese President Xi Jinping, for celebrations to commemorate victory over Nazi Germany, and May 10th. Responding to Moscow's offer of the 3-day ceasefire, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was ready as long as the ceasefire would be 30 days in length, something Putin had already ruled out in the near term, saying he wants a long-term settlement, not a brief pause. Zelensky said Ukraine, given the continued war with Russia, could not guarantee the safety of any foreign dignitaries who came to Moscow for the traditional May 9th victory parade. And regarding the previous attack, at least one Ukrainian UAV reportedly hit Russia's GRU radio technical intel complex Zvezda near Stavropol. Again, this secretive site is key to Russia's space signals intelligence. In Russia's Dagestan, the pre-May 9th Victory Day fanaticism forces kindergartners into mock military parades, dressed in tiny uniforms and waving flags, shamefully exploiting young children to fuel patriotic propaganda.
Здравствуйте, товарищи! Поздравляю вас с 80-й годовщиной Великой Отечественной войны! Уважаемые ветераны, воспитанники детского сада «Ладничок», поздравляю вас с Великой 80-й годовщиной Великой Отечественной войны!
Ура! Ура! Ура!
Командир многолюдной Парад, равнясь, смирно, торжественным маршем, шагом марш!
The Ukrainian Defense Forces have captured mercenaries from the African country of Togo. This information was confirmed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Togo. According to the Foreign Ministry, these are mostly young people who wanted to study in Russia on scholarship programs. Diplomats from Lomé are currently working with a number of partners to fully clarify the circumstances. The Foreign Ministry urged citizens to be careful and not to fall for dubious offers. We urge you to check the authenticity of scholarship offers before making any commitments and to contact the competent authorities to obtain verified and secure information before any travel abroad, especially to Russia, the Togolese Foreign Ministry said in a statement. Russia is trying to achieve at least some success in Ukraine and is using all available resources. Due to the problems with recruitment, Russia has begun to involve even African mercenaries in the war. The Russian leadership is aware that it is extremely difficult for them to maintain the current pace of hostilities, so they see Africa as a resource for mobilizing the local population for the war against Ukraine. In addition, the use of African mercenaries is profitable. In the war in Ukraine, they are virtually deprived of any rights. An additional difficulty is the language barrier, as it is difficult for them to communicate with other military personnel or to defend their interests without knowing the Russian language. Recently, the soldiers of the 49th Carpathian Sich Assault Battalion captured a Senegalese citizen who fought in the ranks of the Russian army. According to him, he studied in Russia for 2 years, but later planned to emigrate to Germany. One of his acquaintances suggested a route through Ukraine, assuring him that it is not difficult to get to Europe from here. UK Prime Minister Starmer announced a boost in defense spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2027, citing Ukraine's evolving war. Drones and autonomous systems are reshaping the front lines. It's why we must strengthen our defenses, he said, marking the biggest sustained increase since the Cold War.
Look at the situation in Ukraine. And I was in Ukraine, the last time I was there was about 6-7 weeks ago now, and I was really struck by the change over the 3 years of the conflict in the way in which the conflict is being fought, and the fact that drones, semi-autonomous and autonomous capability is absolutely at the front line now, but also really relevant to the way in which we need to be able to defend ourselves as we go forward. And that's why we've had to up our defence spending, 2.5% by 2027. That's the highest sustained increase since the Cold War.
France condemns North Korea's involvement in Russia's war on Ukraine, calling it a blatant disregard for international law. This escalation poses a direct threat to European and global security. France urges North Korea to cease all support for Russian aggression, they write.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.